time to move on to building out the spokes of your long-term online marketing plan. So we're gonna start off by talking about some of the inbound spokes. And the first area we're gonna look at is SEO. SEO boils down to making sure that your website, and all of your content is as discoverable by Google as possible. But historically, there has been a high priority on using two main factors to determine what it's going to rank, what it's going to show in its search engine results. And those two factors are links and content. Links are used as a ranking metric by Google because, well, frankly speaking, it's every time you get a link, it's like a vote of trust being passed to your site. The better they are, the higher quality are, the more they come from really highly trusted, highly authoritative sites and that are really relevant to what you talk about and what you're an expert about, the better. The second factor is content. Google ranks good, well-written, long-form content that's unique, has an expert authoritative opinion, and it really embraces all of the different things that we've talked about over the past few segments in our program here. Content allows you to slowly grow over time in areas like search engine optimization, from search traffic that you can generate to your site, and from areas like Pinterest, which only continues to do better as time goes on. Now you want to have both sides to your marketing plan. You need referrals, you need these little short-term things like Instagram and Facebook. You also need long-term, you need content to help you grow over time. And that's why we use content as the hub, because you can still get referrals, you can still use Instagram, you can still use Facebook as a part of a content strategy while you're building this long-term search and other areas that drive traffic to your website. So it really completes the full circle of a long-term marketing strategy. Now, there's a couple other things that we should talk about that go around that almost envelop that. This is something that Google has been flirting with, talking about, and working around for many, many years. And it's this acronym that they've titled EAT, E-A-T. And it stands for expertise, authority, and trust. And this EAT concept sits over top of everything. Let's go through each of the three words that make up the acronym and talk about how to build each of them. Expertise is most closely related to an objective thing that you can obtain. Now, in the photography space, there are ways to receive things like awards and credentials. And so if you do have an award, if you do have a credential, you want to make sure you feature that. You want to make sure you put that in your bio. You want to make sure you link to that every once in a while when you're talking about a blog post. You want to show that you've received these and make sure that you're getting that credit. That is a part of your expertise. It's what makes you an expert. Authority is a little bit more related to subjective opinions that are earned. This content hub that we're talking about creating is a wonderful way to establish authority, especially about specific topics. Another way to establish authority is to build citations. And citations are basically any online mention of you and your business. And having a lot of them from really highly credible, highly trusted websites is really gonna help build your authority. Your bio also helps build your authority. Your bio is where you can talk about what it is you do, who you are, and why you are to be trusted, why you're an authority in your specific space. The final component, trust, is really a bit of a mixture of objective and subjective inputs. When you put up this content, how does anybody actually know that it can be trusted? And that's really what this trust component of EAT is trying to identify. And there's a lot of different ways that Google is able to understand that you're trustworthy. Some of them are more on the basics side. We talked earlier about making sure your site is on HTTPS, on secure instead of unsecure. Even things like user engagement metrics helps Google to understand trust. How long people are staying on your page, whether or not they bounce right off. They go to your page, they don't like what they get, and they leave your page. These sorts of things are all believed to go into the trust component of this EAT score. If you could only do one thing that relates to SEO, would be the most important thing you can do, is constantly be thinking about how in every single piece of content you publish, you want to be focusing on how does this better my expertise, how does it improve my authority, and how does it increase my trust in the eyes of Google.